Hey everyone, I'm Roger Haskett from Engagement Unlimited. We're here with Tips from the Top and MeetingsNet, and we are talking about how to move from passive to active at your meetings. And what we're going to talk about today is something I'm extremely passionate about, out loud learning. What a surprise that I am interested in anything that says out loud. I'm a very loud guy, and I believe, actually, very honestly, I believe in out loud. I believe if you are out loud, you turbocharge your growth, you turbocharge your change, you turbocharge learning if you do it out loud, and this is why. Retention rates at meetings are abysmal. Do you guys know this? Usually the range is somewhere between 5 and 20% of whatever is taught at a meeting is remembered 24 hours later, 5 or 20%. That's ridiculously low. And it's because we practice passive meeting styles. We want to move to active. We want people in the audience to actually be actively involved in their own learning. And this is how you do out loud learning. So you get your speakers, and this is something that you want to be thinking about, who you're hiring as a speaker, or if you offer speaker training, you want to get speakers that actually build this into their presentations, where they get the audience, they say, all right, turn to your neighbor, and now you've got 2 minutes. I want you to talk about what it was that we just learned and how it relates to your life, or what you think about it, or does it resonate for you, whatever it is, you give them the question and you get them to talk to each other. Because out loud learning works like this. You take in information, it swirls around in your brain and interacts with your philosophy, the way you think your experience is, and then you force yourself, if you need to, force yourself to say it out loud into the world. You can either say it verbally or you can write it. Doesn't matter if you're an introvert, maybe you want to write it. If you're an extrovert, you maybe want to shout it. But regardless, you want to get it out of your brain into the world, because just the process of putting it into your words and putting it out into the world locks in learning. It locks it in so that you actually remember it more when someone says, hey, what did you learn at that meeting? And you go, well, actually, I learned this. Now, the reason it locks in learning, there's a variety of reasons, like some neuroscience and some other stuff. But the reason I want to talk to you right now, the really cool thing is that when you say things out loud that you've learned from other people, you actually take ownership of it, so that you actually feel it's part of your existence, part of your life, which is perfect, isn't it? When we want people to leave a meeting or go back to their world, we want transformation. We want them to take what they've learned in this meeting and change what they do in life, right? So we want ownership, because ownership is how people actually take learning and lock it in and actually take it into their life and take transformation. Now, so we've talked about speaker training. We talk about your MC is really valuable in terms of applications for this. Your MC, your learning coach, is a very valuable person in terms of out loud learning. What I do when I'm a learning coach MC, I like to get 20 minutes or half an hour at the end of every day, or at lunch and at the end of every day if I get that time. And what I do is I say to people, okay, turn to the person you know least in your little group there, someone that you know the least, and go over, talk about who you are, where you're from, what you do. Get those done, because those are really important for networking. And then I say, I want you to talk about what's the most important stuff you learned in this day, or in the last 3 hours. What resonated the most with you? What stuff that you desperately want to take back and share with other people? And then I get people to talk about that, and the room goes crazy as everyone's talking, and it's wonderful. And then I say, after about a couple minutes, I want you now to talk as a team, like as a group, and share what you guys learned. And then what we do for the last 5 to 10 minutes, I go, who wants to share with the group what they've learned? My goodness, those last 10 minutes are gold, because people start standing up and saying, this is what I think is important. And other people go, oh my goodness, I didn't even remember that. And they start to write it down. This is gold. So this is a perfect way of applying out loud learning to your meeting, so that people leave and move back into the world with transformation energy, which is what we want. I'm Roger Haskett from Engagement Unlimited, but I'm here with MeetingsNet talking about tips from the top. I hope you guys are finding these valuable. Come on back for the next one.